Okay, so I think we're recording. Yep, we're up and going there. Okay, so we're going to be making some small plaques on this. It's a kind of a sculptural sort of an idea, and that was the main thing that I was looking for on this one. Is the idea of sculpture is not just to have something necessarily on a flat surface. True, this is a semi-flat surface, but what we're looking for is to create a sense of depth on those flat surfaces. So, as you notice, they have some stuff that's pressed in, which makes a layer away from it. Then there's the slab layer, and then there's a raised layer as well as we look at these examples. And we're just doing a little bit with a name or a phrase or something like that, some sort of a lettering you can do. It doesn't have to be lettering. It could just be a picture of something on a flat surface arranged in some design fashions. I have two different types here that we're working with. This one is designed, has my last name on it and some flowers and that sort of thing, but it's designed to sit on a desk, and so it can just sit like that and have your name on it. So that's kind of one. It has this little bent edge coming around to the back side. That's a cool deal. This one is designed to hang on a wall or something along those lines. Notice it has some holes that have been pushed all the way through to facilitate that as well. With those, and so those are some examples of ones that I've done for the classes so far. Let me give you a quick tutorial on that one. Maybe one more quick on that. Anytime you're rolling out clay, it's always helpful to have some sort of a covering down so that the clay does not stick to the table on those. Looks like our rolling pins, sometimes they get a little bit of extra goop on them, like in here. If it does have stuff stuck to it, you can just take some sort of an edge and just run that over that to scrape off it. I didn't want any of that actually on my cloth, so I moved that off to the side. Then roll it out. 1/4 of an inch thick is probably going to be sufficient on those. I just have a smaller one. It does not need to be really huge either. It can be a smaller piece with those, so that's good. And I had this clay sliced fairly thin to begin with, so it's rolling out, doesn't have to roll it out too much. I'm kind of a big fan of more of a natural type of a surface on things sometimes, and so as such, as I'm rolling these out, you may have noticed from the other plaques that I had that the edges were a little bit more natural on that one. They're just left, they weren't cut. But you can cut yours as well. That's easy. Remember when you're rolling the clay out, that also don't get any folds underneath. Don't let the cloth fold over like this, because then you're going to get a cut in your clay. Okay, so that's about 1/4 of an inch thick. That's about what I'm looking for. And then I wanted to at least have, I'm going to do the bottom here. See what tools I got. Needle tools are great. This one I think I'll make it a little bit more structured. So I'm just going to cut off the bottom here. This I can use for extra. This is a little taller. I wonder if I want that. Let's do this. Let's just have more of the sides. So I'm just looking the length versus the height on those. And then I'll have these ones kind of the natural edge on these. But I want this one to be, these to be parallel. Kind of like that. And then I can utilize this clay, this extra clay here, in that manner of fashion. Now anytime you cut with a needle tool, like we have here, you're going to have sharp edges on here. And so I'm just going to take and I'm going to smooth that out. You can do the technique of rolling over the fabric on there as well. But we don't want the sharp edge. That's always a bad deal. So I'm going to do that one, flip it over here, smooth out that sharp edge, just by rubbing about a 45-degree angle, pushing down with my fingers and my thumbs, just gentle on that, and that will make it so that it's much more smooth and better able to go here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm looking for 3 different levels on this one. And here's the middle level. Actually, the middle level is the level of the plaque. The other level that you can get that we're working at, I'm going to need some sort of a tool here that might work for pressing in a design. What's going to be good? What about I guess I'll use the pen here on that one. And so getting the lower level is by pressing something into it. And so we want to have that happen. So I'm going to come here like this. Let's see what that does. Do I like that look? Nope, not big enough. I'm going to do this one instead. Just the tip of the end of the pen. And so now we have the middle level, like I said, was established by the slab itself. Now I'm pressing into it, so this recedes back into space. So that creates another level, a lower level for our project. And then I'm trying to just make a pattern across the top. Patterns are really good in ceramics. I've mentioned it before when we were dealing with pinch pots, that it's probably one of the best tools you have as a ceramic artist, as you're making some things, is be able to put a pattern or a design on your projects. And it creates a couple of things. One, it's a great tool. Two, it shows that you're manipulating the clay in some manner or fashion. And if you're doing something to it, you're doing something to the clay intentional. And if you make it, your pattern is ordered and organized, then people say, hey, look, they've spent some time creating a nice pattern across the top on that one. I'm going to do a little bit on the bottom as well. And so it tells the viewer that you took your time to do something. If you just are hacking and slashing at it and not creating a pattern and not taking your time, people are like, yeah, I don't really care to look at it. They didn't spend any time on it, so why should I spend any time looking at it? Is kind of the deal. And so just taking a moment or so to make a decent pattern, and this really doesn't take all that much time. And all I'm doing is making sure the distance between these pieces is about the same. And it doesn't even have to be exact. Having things relatively close is kind of enough on that. But it does show, like I said, the time invested. And the manipulation and the controls, that I purposely did something to this clay as a human being to make it look interesting, is what we're wanting to do. And that intent is what is desired a lot of times in artwork. People want to know that you've manipulated your space in some manner or fashion. So now that I've created just a simple line across the top and across the bottom, they're fairly regular, and that's an easy sort of a thing to do. And there's a number of different types of pressed in things you can do. You can take and on this one, for example, I think I used this edge of this tool here and just kind of went down like this, coming across the top on those. A very simple sort of an idea. Okay, so now we've taken care of at least two of the levels that we wanted on that one. We have the medium level, which is the slab, and the lower level, which is the pressed in stuff. I can press some more stuff in if I want to. Now, if you're doing lettering, that's the option that I gave. I was like, well, if you want to have a little placard on your bedroom door or something like that, or you want to have it on your desk, your office desk or something, that's what this is designed for. Or if you want to make a cool thing for your as a Christmas gift or something like that for somebody, and you want to put their name on it, you can most certainly do that with this sort of thing. But you can also do sculptural sort of things as well. Not really sure what I wanted to do on this one. Let's do this type of lettering. I know students a lot of times they have a really hard time trying to figure out how to do some lettering things on this one. So I'm going to do kind of a stick type of lettering. And so I'm going to start out with all of my pieces about the same thickness. Now if you have somebody who has a name, or you're doing with a name that has mostly straight letters, this works out really, really easy on those. But these are my little building blocks on that one that I'm going to do. And so this one will probably work okay. And I'll clean these up in just a moment or so, but I wanted to make that. I'm making But like I said, and so I'm just kind of utilizing the idea that if we have block letters, it might be easier. I want to need to make this one a little bit smaller. So cut that one there. And what I'll probably do is actually let's put some separation between these letters. Maybe that would be kind of cool. And so if we do something more like this, and so then I need one that's a little bit longer on that one. Okay, hold on. Okay, so yeah, maybe some space between there like that. Let's move it over since I'm putting in more space. So it makes it a little bit more open. So I need one of those. One of those. And I think I need some more of these ones. Let's slice another little piece that's a little bit longer. So that's what I'm going to need. Going to need more space, huh? More space. Now that one's a little bit shorter, maybe. That's okay. We'll firm these up in just a moment. Gonna need even more room. So right now I'm kind of organizing a little bit. Okay, so I need for a curved one here. How's that? That's a little easier, huh? And then maybe if I slice it about in half there. And let's take and curve this one too. And so that's an easy way to get into your curved pieces, right? That needs to be a little longer. Okay, so this is another just a different type of a lettering with it just a little bit bigger, right? And so I put the spaces between those a little bit more like that. I haven't done my scoring and slipping yet. Don't worry, I haven't forgot. I still intend to do that. I'm still kind of working on the shapes. Okay, so and then if we drop this down just a little bit more, then I can do the scoring and the slipping and put those into place. But what I needed a place. This was going to be a wall piece, and so I needed some holes in here to drill that. So there's a little bit of an example of being able to put some lettering in there. And so I'm just score and slip and stick those on, but not too terribly complicated. That's a pretty simple type of a lettering that you can accomplish just dealing with small pieces. And as you make them, you can still deal with the curved parts of them without too much difficulty. Okay, so the holes in those things, I just need a thing. I think I'm going to use my pen. Okay, so these pieces I'm going to take off for just a moment. Because I need to have a hole in here to hang this thing up. And I could, maybe what I'll do is I'll do it this way. I'm just going to take and I'm going to drill out one of these holes that I already had in there. Like that. And then come and do this one. That way it doesn't necessarily interrupt the pattern at all. And so then on the back side I'm going to turn this over because I have those little bit of eruptions on there. And I'm just going to take like a knife tool and press this down, scrape off half, scrape off the other half like that. And so then that's going to make it a nice edge for that. So now I have a way to hang it up, or I can put some nails in the wall or something like that with those holes, and it's still incorporated in the design on those sorts of things. From here, as I said, we're going to do some scoring and slipping. Probably want to get these back into place and remember how they worked. So that I can score and slip them and clean them up. Maybe I like it this way better. No, I like it this way. It's kind of like playing with blocks. Okay, so now that I have it set there, I'm just going to bring into the scoring and slipping realm here. Remember that sort of thing. I'm not going to just have you watch me score and slip stuff, but that's the idea for making the plaque that we want. If I wanted to put some other design things on there, I could put some other design things. I still have some space that I can utilize, like we did with this one here, perhaps. Have some flowers on it. This one right over here. This one just had some little doodads on it. I thought was kind of cool. But 3 levels. Top level is the raised things you put on it. Second level is the slab. Third level is the stuff that you've pressed into it. And so those are the 3 levels that I would like to see in this particular project. And I think that's about it. Thanks.